Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing a mid-year tag. I got all of these questions from Sarah Caroli's YouTube video, so I will have the same questions linked in the description if you guys want to do this, and comment your answers down below. So let's get into today's video. Okay, so the first one is the best book that you've read in 2023 so far. So my first one is If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio. I have not stopped thinking about this book since I read it, and I read it at the very beginning of the year. So yeah, this was a really good book. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. So yeah, that was my first one. And then my second one was Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. We already know my feelings on this book from my monthly wrap-up that I did at the beginning of the month. I love this book so much. So much. So much. Next is the best sequel that you've read in 2023 so far. So my first one is obviously Crooked Kingdom. We all know how obsessed I am with this book and with this just entire storyline, so this one is like just there's no question about it. This is just immaculateness. Okay, then we have Unravel Me. I haven't talked about this book yet. It is so good. It's so good. I love it. There's nothing I can't say without spoiling it, but just know that this book is 1,000 times better than the first one. And everybody says Ignite Me is the best book in the entire series, so if this one was as good as it was, Ignite Me better be just absolutely phenomenal. So, and then my third best sequel so far was Good Girl Bad Blood by Holly Jackson. We also know my thoughts on this book from my monthly wrap-up. So yeah, this was another really good one. Really good one. Alright, the next one is newest release that you want to read but haven't yet, and I don't have a physical copy for it, but it is of course Fourth Wing. Everybody and their mother has read this book, and I'm so late to the game, and I don't know when I'm going to read it, but hopefully it's soon, because I want the edition of the book that has the painted edges with the dragons on it. I really want that copy. So I don't know how long those are going to be available for purchase, so I really need to get on that before I can't get it anymore. Right, next is the the most anticipated book release for the second half of the year, and that is The Hawthorne Brothers by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is the fourth book in the Inheritance Games. I think technically it's a cycle now because it's 4 books. I think that's right. Yeah, that's right. And I'm very excited for that. I obviously have to read the final gambit first, but I have this thing. Okay, there's only one exception, and that is the Keeper of the Lost City series. That is the only exception to this rule, and my rule is that I do not, if I start a series and book 1 is paperback, the rest of the series has to be paperback. If I start a series and it's hardcover, the rest of the series has to be hardcover. They have to match. Okay, biggest surprise. I took this as a book that you weren't really expecting to love and then did. So that is Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. I know this book is really popular, but I honestly picked it up on a whim. Like, I didn't even know that it was as popular as it was. I don't even think I thought it was very popular. I just saw it in Barnes & Noble and I liked the cover, so I picked it up, and then I read the back and I was like, why not? Let's try it. I picked it up on a whim. I didn't even know that it was popular at the time that I got this book. So yeah, This was actually the only book that I've read this year that I was like not 100% on. I just kind of like picked it up on a whim. So yeah. Okay, favorite new author, debut or new to you? I didn't read any like debut authors this year that like released a book for the first time this year. So mine were Holly Jackson and Lee Bardugo. They're new to me, and I love them. Holly Jackson has become an auto-buy, even though I don't have 5 Survive, but that is a conversation for another day, and I really want to read that book. I don't even really know what it's about, other than what the cover says, which is, you know, 5 Survive, and there were 6 of them. So, yeah. Newest Fictional Crush. You already know what these are. I need to take it from the stack, though. So let's just redo that. Okay, 6 of Crows. It's Kaz. If you thought it was anybody else, maybe like just, I don't know, pay attention a little bit more. Kaz is just, I love Kaz. I love Kaz. He's been my favorite character. Like, I haven't loved a character in a book this much since Keeper of the Lost Cities. We're seeing a recurring theme here, aren't we? Like, I don't know. There's something about him. I'm not entirely sure what it is. All I know is I love him. I love Cass. My second one is obviously Shatter Me, Aaron Warner. Who doesn't love Aaron Warner? Warner is amazing, and I love Warner. And I'm gonna keep calling him Warner because I like that better than Aaron. Okay, book that made me cry. I've only cried to 2 books this year, so let's talk about both of them, shall we? I keep ruining this stack of books, but Crooked Kingdom. If you read my reading vlog where I read Crooked Kingdom, you know why I cried. If you did not, you know, just this was an emotional roller coaster for me, okay? Every like 5 seconds I thought one of the characters was gonna die and then almost had a breakdown. I'm having a breakdown just thinking about it internally, so I definitely cried. And then the next one, also this book is not this big. This is the large print edition. I had to read this for school. This is All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr, I think is how you say his last name. Okay, so what's interesting is the reason why I cried was so like instantaneous that I shouldn't have been crying, but like the build up to it, I knew what was going to happen. So that's why I started crying. And those of you that were in this class with me when we read this book know that I absolutely lost it. So, yeah. That's all I'm gonna say, because that's just emotional trauma in a book. Okay, book that made me happy. Number 1, The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. We're going to happier things now. Honestly, the Hawthorne Legacy made me very happy too. But we're just gonna talk about the series as a whole, and I'm just gonna hold book 1. This whole, just like the whole vibe of this series just makes me so happy, and I don't know, it's just joy in a book, even though a lot of it is really scary and like life or death situations going on. It's just happiness in a book, and I can't explain it to you, but you'll just have to read it, find out yourself. The next one is Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. I read this book at the beginning of the year, around the same time that I read If We Were Villains, actually. It's an interesting combination, but I love this book. I love it. I think about Wes all the time. All the time. I don't know, I I love this book, and I think about this book like every day. So, makes me very happy. Okay, so the next is the most beautiful book that I have bought or received so far this year, and I have two. Siege and Storm. I'm going solely off of cover, by the way. Siege and Storm by Leigh Bardugo. This is the prettiest, I wish the glare would stop. This is the prettiest book I've ever seen in my entire life. Also, look at the spine. You can't even see because of the glare, but like, look at that. If you can't tell, teal is my favorite color, so. There's one. This is the second, Rosemary Cottage by Colleen Cobble. Yeah, I said that right. Just look at it. It's beautiful. Look at the spine and the back. I'm loving the pinks, and I don't even really like pink all that much. Okay, and the last one is what books do I need to read by the end of the year? I only have a physical copy of one of them, and that is As Good as Dead by Holly Jackson. I need to finish this series. If you follow me on Instagram, you know that a couple days ago I learned that they are actually doing a Good Girls Guide to Murder TV show, or maybe it's a movie. I'm not even entirely sure. All I know is that I'm so excited. I'm not excited to read this book because I know it's just one big, there's just trauma embedded into the pages based off the way book 2 ended, but I'm doing this to myself, to be quite honest, but I do need to read this book, and I need to finish this series because I need to know what happens. I need to. Okay, the next one that I need to read by the end of the year is The Final Gamut by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, which is the third book in the Inheritance Games cycle. I think that's what I said it was earlier. I honestly don't know what it is anymore. It was a trilogy, now there's a fourth book. It could be a series, it could be a cycle, it could be whatever Jennifer Lynn Barnes wants it to be, but I need to read this book so that I can then wait a year for the Hawthorne Brothers when the paperback version comes out. I hate when they do that. And the last book, technically this is a series, it's a duology, but I need to read the King of Scars duology. I finished Crooked Kingdom. I'm reading them in chronological order, and I didn't even know that I was reading them in chronological order because of like Shadow and Bone, the TV show, which I did watch, by the way, and I loved. I thought that like Six of Crows was happening at the same time as the Shadow and Bone trilogy because of how they, you know, like it's two different storylines that converge. But then I found out, because I went to Leigh Bardugo's website and I found out that I read Six of Crows and realized that it happened after Shadow and Bone, and then I went to Leigh Bardugo's website and I found out that I was reading them in chronological order without even meaning to, like the whole Grishaverse book thing. So I don't know how I did that, but that is skills. All right, and that was the end of my mid-year book tag. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun doing this, putting this together. Please like and subscribe, and comment down below your answers to the questions if you want to, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!